I'm not happy with that. So, fuck. What's up? Okay, I think this is like part 3 or whatever the fuck we're on now of this build. Okay, so things we need to do today. Car's all covered up right now because it's snowed and rained the past couple of days. So we're gonna get it uncovered, get all like the sandbags uncut from the rest of the car. Sometimes the wind's crazy over here, so you gotta like tie shit down real good. But get everything uncovered. Step 1 is gonna be to cut the excess metal around the fender well, and you guys can see my butched ass job for the way that we sealed that, which, whatever. If you got a problem with it, you can stop watching at whatever point you'd like to stop watching. Yeah, so I'll go in there and I'll fix all that, and then, or at least, you know, get it to the point that I need to. I'll let that set. I'm gonna probably put some more like sealer or like JB weld or metal infused JB weld just on the cracks to make sure that it's sealed, and then I'll let that sit while I square away some other pieces of the kit. I still got to do some trimming on the side skirts, the rear bumper. I don't think I have to do anything on the front bumper, and there's some on the fenders I got to do. So I'll do all of that while I'm letting that sit and set, I guess, and then we will come back to it and we'll take a flapper wheel to it and grind that down. Yeah, so let's start there. Okay, so it looks like shit right now. I understand that. It's gonna look better as the process goes on, but it's gonna look shitty first. So bear with me. Okay, so there were some large gaps that were pretty much unfillable without a welder right now. So what I did was I took expanding foam, which I've used before, and sprayed the expanding foam in the areas that just needed to fill the gap. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut down these areas so that they're smooth with the inside of the well itself, and then we're going to lay some additional weld on the top of that, some JB weld. Once again, I understand this is not in a perfect world, this is not how I would do it. However, as you've seen before, this is the area I'm working in. I'm in a fucking parking stall. So sometimes you gotta do the best with what you have, okay? And that is the best with what I have. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, I look ridiculous. Okay, so overall, I'm actually really happy with how that came out. It obviously looks like shit still, but the important thing is that we seal it, right? That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to make sure that moisture can't get up there and fuck everything up. We've got some pinholes, but overall, we did a really good job. So the point now is going to be to get a flapper wheel, smooth most of this out, at least the areas that we can. Get some additional JB weld on top of this insulation foam because that's obviously not watertight. And then we're at like a 95% solution with what we have. Once again, I can't stress that enough. Obviously, I know that this is kind of, I don't want to say half-assed, but not done properly is probably the way to describe it. I get that. Parking lot. I had to put a beanie on because I was getting stuff in my hair, which I had to cut out. Yeah, so while those are setting up, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get Taylor out here and we're gonna get the side skirts up on the car, and there's some trimming that we need to do around the back portion. So we're gonna go ahead and start working that stuff while we wait for this to set. Alright, so we're fitting the side skirts again, and there's like quite a bit of like trimming and taking off, taking on, or taking off, putting on. Like it's a process, right? And I was filming a little bit, and then I started to get frustrated, so I stopped filming as much, and then I started to fit it a little bit more. The point I'm trying to make is, like, sometimes during this process, you are going to get fucking frustrated. You are going to get fucking mad. You're going to get angry. You're going to be pissed at yourself. Sometimes shit doesn't work out exactly like you want it to. It's all going to work out in the end. But I thought this was a perfect time for me to turn on the camera and kind of say that out loud, because I had to stop for a second and walk inside and went and grabbed an energy drink, and I kind of had to sit down for a second, just take a break, and then come back to it. That's okay to do. I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that and get that on camera, but so I'm back out now. I got Taylor. I really need a second set of hands, so we're gonna keep trying to fit this stuff and make it fit a little bit better. And it's a process. It's a process. So yeah. All right. Alright, so I'll take you guys off the tripod real quick. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try and get to the back, so the sun's not making this as difficult. But so we got the I'm shooting right into the sun. I fucking suck. This, I'll go from the front. I'm sorry, I suck. All right. So rear bumper's on, and it looks fucking crazy. It looks just so fucking sick. Still some fitting, you know, that needs to be done. That rear bumper, obviously not perfect, as you can see right here, yet. But I'm getting ready to trim some pieces up in there. And then on this back portion, there's a 3-piece wing that will, so a portion of the wing is actually one of these light covers. So that's what actually fills this gap here. And then obviously there's a piece that goes in between the two taillight covers. So it's a 3-piece wing is what they call it. But it's almost like a very low angle duckbill. So that kind of like comes up a little bit, but not very much off the back. And then what we're gonna do is in these spots where we currently have these really terrible mounts for that stupid ass like fake spoiler that was on there. I mean, it's not fake. It was a spoiler. It just wasn't real carbon. But it had like a wrap or hydro dip on it. It looked like shit. But the mounting point should be the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually cut slits in the back of that 3-piece spoiler, and we're going to do a GT wing with it. I'm kind of deciding how big I want to go right now. The one I'm looking at is like a Spirit R, I want to say it is, or Esprit something. I don't know how the fuck you say that, but it's like 71 inches, so it's not too big. I mean, 71 inches is big, but it sits really well on the body lines. Pretty much this body line right here, where my finger's at, would be the end of it, which I think is good. That'll be enough aggressive, or enough overhang to look aggressive, while at the same time, you know, having a little bit of hangover. I don't want it to hang over a huge amount, but I definitely want it to hang over enough to where, you know, it doesn't look like a stock like Evo or something, where, you know, it has a very boxy spoiler, but it sits inside like the body lines for the hips of the car. Not that, you know, I have any issues with the way Evos look or whatever, but that's just not the look I'm going for with this car. So yeah, I don't know. We need to do a little bit more work. This still has to come off. I got to trim 1 or 2 things on this, and that one should be essentially, well, I mean, there's sanding and stuff I got to do on the edges from the mold when it was pulled from the mold, but it's essentially done. It's like 90% there. So got to do that. And then the side marker lights, those have to be trimmed out a little bit so they'll the little lights fit properly. The front bumper, there's a lot of sanding work that needs to be done on the front bumper. From all the little holes, the inlets, all those have to be sanded down on the edges because when they're pulled from the mold, there's pretty high ridge line on those. The front bumper indicator lights, those are just ever so slightly too small, so I got to go in there and trim those out a little bit with a Dremel to get the front indicators to work or to fit in there. And then there's also a bar piece that goes where the top tower portion of the bumper, I guess you'd call it, where it kind of like sticks out. The way this kit is designed is it has a piece that goes with it that actually mounts to the hood. So I need to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do that. I'm not even sure if I'm too hot on that. I might, I don't know, take it to a body shop and see if they can just mold it into the front bumper. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go with that, but there's some work that we need to do with the front bumper. So this has got to come off, but that'll probably be next video, because in order to take that off, I obviously have to, you know, take off the front fenders and all that too to get to the bolts underneath. So it's just kind of a pain in the ass. So yeah, that is probably where we will call this video today. Yeah, I guess till next time.